Hello, good morning. Gary Champion, Psychic Medium, once again with a video hoping I can help using my guides, and they're prompting me to say helpers, but sometimes they prefer. Um, Helpers are important in everybody's life, whether you listen to them or not. They still get through to you. Often you do things you don't know why you're doing them, and things turn out it's because you have a helper on your side. Guide is is more like you don't know the way to California, so you need a guide to lead you to California. Helpers are there to help you discover what it is that you want and what you need and a path to get there. But guide to me means that they're going to take you down the road that's known. They're going to guide you, a guided meditation. I don't care for those either, where they have a recording playing in the background telling you what you should be thinking. Too many signposts, door closed, bathroom out of order, enter on the right side only. To navigate just the simple inside of a building can be complex. So I'm one of those who really go into a building and don't see the signs. My wife will point them out, and I pretty much ignore them. Why? Because I'm not made that way. Physical signs don't affect me in any way that I might go about my life. They have their rules and I have mine. See how that works? Here's the way other people want you to go, but you inside feel like maybe today's a good day just to go fishing. Maybe other people want you to work on something, figure something out, and you yourself, maybe it's a movie day. Cheetos on the couch, movie day. So guide's not a good word for them anyway. A guide is someone who has some presupposed ending to something, and believe me, there aren't any of those. That spiritually speaking, there's 10 ways everything can go. Which way it goes depends on you. Anyway, this video was not going to be about that. It just veered off that direction. This video is about something that came to me a minute ago in a meditation, that why is it that if we can't control something, we see it as a problem? That's what we do. If we can control it, it's not a problem. If we can't control it, it's a big problem. Why is that? And it may not be true at all. That maybe 20% of the things you want actually are going to come true for you, or you're going to be able to control them. Most of the world is, it's like I was talking the other day, it's cosmic chaos. The world is, you don't see it because the buildings are standing and the trees and it looks staged. Like you go into a furniture store and everything's staged. This couch goes with those chairs, goes with that. And the truth for me is that they don't. I might walk around, pick out a couch way over there, and I might get a chair way over there, ignoring all the signposts to the contrary. Anyway, you could do an experiment. The things that you want to control, that you can't control, that you end up not controlling, that you label as a problem, in 2 years' time, you're glad that they didn't come true. And had it come true, it would have been really bad for you. Knowing when to let go of controlling everything around you is, I think, the key to happiness. Knowing that you can't control, yet you're controlling very little in your life, is the key to happiness on a day-to-day basis. I'm one of those that just sort of I allow things to happen. I control very little. This the other day, we've got this new puppy, Peanut. I don't know, I've shown several pictures of him, but he has a bad habit that when we sit down to eat supper, that he goes to the door and whines because he wants to go out. Well, he just was out. He does that to distract my wife where she doesn't get a bite of warm food. And she's tried everything. And a couple of days ago, I took my flip flop and threw it against, just sort of tossed it in the air, and it hits, and he goes and sits down where he normally sits on the stairs, waiting for my wife to finish her supper, and they go upstairs and do whatever, have fun. And then the next day, which is yesterday, don't throw that sandal at that dog. That's a terrible thing to do. I said, okay. So I just had it in my mind. I said, go sit on the stairs in my mind. And dogs are telepathic. And he walked right over and sat on the stairs. Not understandable. And that's about the extent that I control anything. I told the dog to go sit on the stairs. Beyond that, and he did. And he laid down there and waited till she was through eating, instead of bugging her during her eating. He gets angry when, I don't know if y'all know puppies, but if she's not holding him, petting him, touching him, playing with him all the time, he gets angry. He starts chewing things up. As soon as she turns her attention to him, he's all good again. Well, it's, but dogs are telepathic. You can tell them things and they'll do it without tossing a sandal in the air. I didn't hit him. I just, it hit the wall over there. And, what's that? Perhaps I better go sit down. But the next day, all I did was, in my mind, telepathically say, go sit down on the steps. And I saw the steps in my mind. See, that's how you send him a picture of where you want him, the steps. And I said, go, in my mind, I said, go sit on the steps. And I showed him the steps, and he went over and sat there. You might try this with your dog. Cats, not so much. Good luck with that one. They hear you. They're just not going to do it. Dogs hear you, and they're more willing to please their owners. Anyway, if we can't control something, we call it a problem. That's going to be a big problem down there, Bill. We're going to have to get the big wrench out and go down. Maybe you're not meant to control this thing. Maybe it's meant to play itself out. I don't mean the building is going to explode. That one you need to control, but simple things. That controlling everything is really loss of the fun of life. Did I just say that? That was smart. Who said that? I don't think that was me. When you take and they're saying, you're taking all the fun out of life when you try to control everything. And this is a male thing, particularly. We're bad about it. That we want everything to be where we want it, and the world doesn't operate that way. So getting on board with the idea that the world evolves as it should, and often by controlling something, you've destroyed it. Plus, you've taken all the fun out of it. Spontaneity has a lot to do with fun. So you might look back on some of these things you control that you shouldn't have. You should have left it alone. Things were going okay. There's a story about a town here. It happened long in the 1800s. It was a river that went through a town. And this is a true story. It's documented. I've seen the pictures. And the town took paddle wheelers and loaded grain and food and things on them, and plows and whatever, and shipped them to other parts because the water was high enough that they could do so. Paddle wheelers would fit in there. And someone got the idea of going upstream because there was a big log jam there. I don't know if it was cypress or not, but there's a lot of cypress in this area, and cypress just doesn't rot. It can be there 100 years and it's still in the same place. And yeah, it's a Corps of Engineers. They're going to blow this thing, this blockage up, and more water will come through, and they'll be able to even service more paddle wheelers, because that's what they had there back then. The paddling's on the back. And they did, and the water went in an entire different direction, and the water went down in the town, and almost everybody left town. I think there was 100,000 people there at the height, and that's a big town in the 1800s. And then it's down to 2,000 people. It's no water traffic. So by trying to control something, it got out of control. And the opposite effect was had. And it affected many thousands of lives in a way. We can be often self-destructive by thinking we have to control everything. It's sort of a self-destructive behavior, knowing which things to control and which things to leave alone. And it's usually your grandmother or your grandfather saying, no, let's let that alone for a while. It'll fix itself, or maybe then I'll do something if it doesn't repair itself. But let's let it run for a while and see what happens. And usually it was right. It was just some little abnormality that didn't need repairing. And much like relationships, you think you see a problem because you can't control that person. That's not a problem. It's good that you don't control people. When you do, what happens? Usually you lose them and they don't come back. The biggest complaint is they were over controlling. You're not living a life when someone's controlling you. You're robotic. Your life becomes one of that. Your life becomes their life. They like organization and perfectness and controlling, and you become one of the things they're controlling. Take all the fun out of it. Spontaneity is part of the key to happiness. That and knowing when to leave things alone. Anyway, that's my video for today. With thanks from the other side, my helpers. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.